Have you ever dreamed of starting your own business but immediately thought, I don't have enough money and I don't have the experience? You're not alone. That thought stops millions of people from even trying. And yet, many of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world started with almost nothing. No big bank account, no fancy degree, no background in business. What they did have was courage, creativity, and the determination to learn along the way. Here's the truth. You don't need a fortune to start. You don't even need to be an expert in business. What you do need is the right mindset, a smart plan, and the willingness to start small and grow. In fact, starting lean can be an advantage. It forces you to be resourceful, to test ideas quickly, and to focus only on what really matters. In this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to start a business with little money and no experience. We'll cover how to find the right idea, how to test it without risking your savings, how to use free and low-cost tools to launch, and how to grow with confidence, even if you've never run a business before. And here's the best part. You don't need to wait for someday. You can start today, right where you are, with the resources you already have. So, if you're ready to stop doubting yourself and finally take that leap, hit the like button, subscribe to Draw My Money, and let's dive into how you can become an entrepreneur, even with little money and zero experience. Step 1. Adopt the entrepreneurial mindset. Before you create a logo, before you design a product, before you even think about money, you need the right mindset. Business doesn't start with capital, it starts with how you think. If you enter entrepreneurship believing I can't do this, I don't know enough, I'll probably fail, then you've already lost. But if you approach it with the mindset of, I'm willing to learn, I'll figure it out, and every mistake will teach me something, then you've already taken the most important step towards success. Almost every successful entrepreneur started with zero experience. Jeff Bezos had never run a bookstore before launching Amazon. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, didn't have a background in fashion or retail. She was selling fax machines door to door when she came up with her billion-dollar idea. They didn't wait until they knew everything. They started, made mistakes, learned and adjusted until their ideas grew into massive successes. The entrepreneurial mindset is built on curiosity, resilience, and resourcefulness. Curiosity pushes you to ask, how can this be done better? Resilience allows you to see failure not as the end but as feedback, something to learn from and improve. And resourcefulness shifts your focus away from what you lack toward what you can do with the tools and knowledge you already have. When you embrace these qualities, obstacles stop being dead ends and start becoming stepping stones. This mindset shift is powerful because it completely changes the way you interpret challenges. Instead of thinking, I don't have enough money, you'll begin to ask yourself, how can I start small and scale over time? Instead of saying, I don't know how to do this, you'll start asking, who can I learn from? What free resources can I use to figure this out? Your mind becomes your greatest business tool, capable of turning problems into opportunities and scarcity into creativity. Draw My Money tip. Success in business doesn't start with capital, it starts with courage. Now that you've adopted the right mindset, it's time for step 2, choosing the right business idea that fits your skills, passion, and resources, even if you're starting from zero. Step 2, choose the right business idea. Once you've built the entrepreneurial mindset, the next step is to choose the right business idea, one that matches your skills, passions, and available resources. Too many beginners make the mistake of thinking they need $1 million idea or the next revolutionary invention. The truth is, you don't. What you need is a simple, practical idea that solves a real problem for real people. Successful businesses aren't built on perfection, they're built on usefulness. The best ideas usually come from looking around your own life and asking, what problems do I see that I could help solve? Maybe your neighbors complain about not having affordable meal options. Could you start a small home-cooked food delivery service? Maybe you notice local businesses struggling to manage social media. Could you offer to create content for them at a low cost? The key is to start where you are, with what you know, and with the resources you already have. Let's look at an example. Many entrepreneurs have started service-based businesses with almost no money. A teenager might begin mowing lawns with a borrowed lawnmower and turn it into a landscaping business. A college student might start tutoring online with nothing but a laptop and Wi-Fi. These ideas don't require big startup capital. but they solve real needs, and solving needs is what creates value. Another powerful approach is to lean into your passions. If you love baking, photography, or fitness, think about how you can turn that passion into a service or product. Passion gives you energy when things get hard, and that energy is essential for beginners who don't yet have experience. However, remember that passion alone isn't enough. Your idea must connect passion with market demand. What people actually want to buy. Don't overcomplicate it. At this stage, the goal is not to create the perfect business. It's to choose an idea you can start small, test quickly, and grow over time. Remember, Amazon started with books, not everything. Apple started in a garage with computers, not iPhones. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to start with one simple idea. Step 3. Test your idea with minimal risk. Once you've chosen your business idea, the next step is not to pour all your money into it or quit your job immediately. The smart move is to test your idea with minimal risk. Too many beginners fail because they assume they need to invest thousands of dollars up front on websites, logos, equipment, or inventory before even knowing if their idea works. But here's the truth. Your first goal is not perfection, it's validation. You need to know if people are actually willing to pay for what you're offering. Testing can be as simple as creating a small version of your product or service and offering it to a few people. If you want to start a baking business, don't rent a storefront. Start by baking at home and selling to friends, coworkers, or neighbors. If you want to start a digital service like social media management, offer it for free or at a discount to 1 or 2 small businesses in your area. The goal is to see if people find value in what you do and whether they would be willing to pay more for it in the future. The beauty of this approach is that it allows you to make mistakes cheaply. Instead of wasting thousands of dollars on something nobody wants, you're learning quickly, with little to no risk. Think of it as training wheels for your business. The feedback you get at this stage is gold. It tells you what works, what doesn't, and what you need to improve before scaling up. One inspiring example is Sara Blakely, founder of Spanx. She didn't spend millions on advertising at first. She created a simple prototype of her product and tested it with real women to see if it solved their problem. Once she saw the demand, she went bigger. That's the model you want to follow. Small tests, fast learning, then scaling. And in today's digital world, testing is easier than ever. You can create a free social media page to showcase your idea. Use online marketplaces like Etsy, eBay, or Fiverr to offer your product or service, or simply talk directly to people in your community. None of this requires huge money. Just creativity and initiative. Draw my money tip: don't bet everything on an untested idea. Start small, learn fast, and grow smart. Now that you've validated your idea, the next step is to use free and low-cost tools to launch your business so you can look professional and reach more customers without draining your wallet. Step 4. Use free and low-cost tools to launch. After testing your idea and seeing that people are interested, the next step is to officially launch your business. But here's the key. You don't need to spend a fortune to look professional. In fact, thanks to technology, there are free and low-cost tools that allow you to build, promote, and manage your business with almost no upfront investment. The biggest mistake beginners make is thinking they need the fanciest website, expensive advertising, or top-of-the-line equipment from day one. What you really need is to start lean. Use what's available and focus on delivering value. For example, instead of paying thousands for a website, you can use platforms like WordPress, Wix, or even just start with a free social media page. Many successful businesses today began with nothing more than an Instagram account showcasing their work. Instead of paying for expensive marketing campaigns, you can use free strategies like posting valuable content, engaging with your community, and building relationships. Word of mouth is still one of the most powerful forms of advertising, and it costs nothing but effort. There are also free tools to manage your operations. Google Workspace can help you organize documents and spreadsheets. Canva lets you design professional-looking graphics without hiring a designer. PayPal or Stripe allows you to accept payments easily. The point is, you don't need to wait until you can afford it. You can look professional and run efficiently today with little or no cost. Another key advantage of starting lean is flexibility. If you discover that your customers want something different, You can pivot quickly because you haven't locked yourself into expensive commitments. Starting small means you're light, agile, and ready to adapt, which is exactly how great businesses survive in their early stages. Step 5. Grow with confidence and keep learning. Launching your business is just the beginning. The real challenge and the real opportunity comes in growing it. And here's the secret. You don't need to know everything before you start, but you do need to be willing to keep learning as you go. Business is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger you get. Every customer interaction, every mistake, every success teaches you something that makes you sharper and more capable. When you're starting with little money and no experience, confidence comes from progress, not perfection. The first time you make a sale, no matter how small, it proves that your idea works. That one sale is validation that someone values what you're offering. The second sale shows it wasn't luck. And before long, you begin to realize that building a business isn't about some magical formula. It's about persistence, learning, and improving every single day. A powerful way to grow is to listen closely to your customers. Ask them what they love about your product, what could be better, and what else they need. These conversations will guide your growth far better than guessing on your own. The best businesses in the world didn't succeed because they had the flashiest logos. They succeeded because they solved problems better than anyone else. Another key to growth is reinvestment. Instead of spending your early profits on luxuries, put that money back into your business. Buy better tools, improve your marketing, or expand your offerings. Reinvestment compounds your growth, just like compound interest grows money in investing. You've now seen that starting a business with little money and no experience is not only possible, it can actually be an advantage. You begin by adopting the entrepreneurial mindset, understanding that courage, resilience, and creativity are more valuable than capital. Then, you choose the right business idea, focusing on simple solutions to real problems that people are already facing. From there, you test your idea with minimal risk, proving it works before you risk your savings. Once validated, you use free and low-cost tools to launch, looking professional and reaching customers without draining your wallet. And finally, you grow with confidence and keep learning, reinvesting your profits and letting every step teach you how to get stronger. The truth is, most people will never start because they're waiting for the perfect moment. They think they need more money, more time, or more knowledge before they begin. But here's the reality: the perfect moment will never come. The difference between those who dream and those who succeed is that the successful ones start with what they have, where they are, and they figure out the rest along the way. So imagine yourself 1 year from now. You could still be in the same place thinking about starting a business, wishing you had more opportunities, or you could look back proudly at the business you started, the customers you helped, and the progress you made, even if you began with nothing but determination. Which version of you will exist depends on the decision you make today. Here's my challenge. Before this day ends, take one concrete action. Write down 3 business ideas. Talk to one potential customer. Post your first product or service online. It doesn't matter how small the step is. What matters is that you start moving, because momentum is what turns ideas into businesses and businesses into freedom. If this video gave you clarity and motivation, hit the like button, subscribe to Draw My Money, and share it with someone who's been waiting for a push to start their own business. And remember, you don't need money to start. You don't need experience to grow. You only need the courage to begin and the discipline to keep going. Draw My Money tip to close. Your business doesn't start with resources. It starts with resourcefulness. Start today and watch how far you can go.